everyone. So today, as you all know, the situation is not that good. Hope you all are fit and fine. So we are again with our virtual classes. So I'll be teaching a portion from the physical chemistry of your second year syllabus. So the chapter which I'll be teaching is solution. Okay. So before starting the chapter, let me give you an overall idea that what are the topics that are presented under this chapter. Okay. So first solution, under solution there are actually 5 to 6 portions. First one is, I can say, the introduction part, solution, or you can say concentration terms. Concentration terms. The second one you can say solubility of gases. Solubility of gases. The third topic under this chapter is vapor pressure. The fourth one is the colligative properties. Under colligative properties, there are 4 properties which I can say. The first one is the relative lowering of vapor pressure. The second one is the elevation in boiling point. The third one is the depression in freezing point. And the fourth one is the osmotic pressure. So these are the 4 colligative properties which I will be discussing with you all in the later classes. Now, next, the last one, which is the topic says Van 't Hoff factor. So this topic is very important regarding your entrance syllabus also, or you can say your board exam also. This Van 't Hoff factor is very important. So this is just an overall view, or you can say overall idea summary of the chapter, that what are the portions present under this chapter. So please note it down. Next, let me, as I told you all, that today the video lecture will be on the introduction part of the solution chapter. So let me give you an idea of the solution chapter today. So what is a solution? So solution is actually, it is a homogeneous mixture of 2 or more substances which can lose their individual identity and cannot be separated by simple method. Okay, so it is a homogeneous mixture of 2 or more substances, you can say, or components also you can say, which can lose their individual identity and cannot be separated by simple method. So homogeneous means the properties will be uniform, and mixture of 2 or more substances, okay, which will lose their identity, means the substances which we are using, it will lose their identity. If it is a solid, it can become liquid, so they will lose their identity and cannot be separated by simple method, means to get the solute and the solvent differently, so we cannot get it in a simple method, because there are other methods which will require to get you all the actual mixture. Okay, so this cannot be separated by simple techniques, or you can say simple methods. Next, in this chapter we are going to discuss actually about the binary solution. Okay, so let me tell you all what is a binary solution. So binary solution means what? The solution which comprises of 2 components. Okay, যে solution এর মধ্যে দুটো component থাকবে, that will be known as binary solution. So in this chapter, we will get to know about the binary solutions only, which comprises of two components. So please note it down. Next, you all know that solution consists of two parts. One part is known as solute and the other part is known as solvent. Okay, so solute is present in smaller amount. And the other one, which is solvent, is present in larger amount. Okay, so larger amount means what? It will be present in more quantity, and the smaller one, which will means it will be present in less quantity, it is known as solute. So solute plus solvent will give you the solution. Suppose I am taking an example. Suppose 20% ethanol solution. Okay, so that means what? In a solution, 20% comprises of ethanol plus the remaining 80% will comprise of water. 80% water will be present. So that means what? Which is the solute here? The solute will be ethanol here because it is present in smaller amount, and the water which will be solvent here. So similarly, like this way, if you are considering 80% ethanol, that means what? The 80% will be the ethanol and the remaining 20% will be of water. So this both comprises of a solution. The solute part, at that time the solute part will be water, and the remaining means the 80% ethanol will be the solvent because it is present in larger amount. So যেটা larger amount present থাকবে, that will be water, that will be known as solvent, and the one which is present in lesser amount will be known as solute. Okay, hope you all have understood. Next, so you have understood, I think so, that what is a solution. Next, we should know that the solute is present in more amount or the solvent is present in more amount. For that we have to divide, we have to know that how much quantity is present. So for that we have to write the concentration terms. Okay, so we are dividing concentration terms in two parts. So the first part is volume related and the other one is mass related. Okay, so volume is directly related to the temperature. So we can say that temperature dependent, volume to temperature dependent होवे because this volume is directly proportional to temperature. So it is temperature dependent. But mass is not related to any temperature and all. So you can say it as temperature independent. Now these are the two parts with which we can divide the concentration terms. So under the volume related we can say there are, the first one is, we can say the concentration terms which you have got in your first year syllabus and all, some basic concepts of chemistry. In that chapter you have got about the mole concept and all. The percentage by volume, that is V by V percentage, you can say, is volume related, it is temperature dependent. Next you can say number 2, weight percentage by volume, that is very very important, W by V you can say. The third one you can say molarity. This is also under the temperature dependent. And the fourth one is normality. Okay, so these are the 4 topics that will be related to the temperature, as you all you can say volume related. And the next one, mass related, I can say percentage by mass, or you can say percentage by weight, that is W by W percentage. Number 2 you can say molality. Next you can say mole fraction, very very important, mole fraction. And the fourth one you can say parts per million. So these 4 are under the volume related topics, and these are what this concentration terms will be related to the mass, or you can say temperature independent. because they are not related to any temperature and all. So please note it down. Next I have to discuss with you all, which already it has been discussed with you all in your first year syllabus, about the concentration terms, that is percentage by volume, weight percentage by volume, molarity, normality. What are these all? That has been already discussed with you all, but still I will discuss again with you all. Okay, the first one is, we can say, percentage by volume, that is V by V. Oh, sorry, we can say percentage by weight. Sorry, percentage by mass. This will be the first one, percentage by mass, that is, you can say W by W. Okay, suppose I am taking an example. A solution of NaCl in water is 5%. So this is an example I am taking. So from this you can say that what is given, a solution of NaCl in water is 5%. That means what? 5 gram of NaCl is present in 100 gram of solution. Yes or no? We can say this because weight by weight, this 5% is representing the weight by weight. So 5 gram of NaCl is present in 100 gram of the solution. So from that we can say percentage by mass. Formula will be mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100. So here the mass of solute is how much? 5 gram divided the mass of solution 100 gram into 100. We can find out the percentage by mass. So this is the word, we can find out the percentage by mass, you can say. Next number 2 will be percentage by volume. Number 2, it will be percentage by volume, or you can say V by V percentage. Okay, suppose I am taking an example. Here as it is volume, so I can say that a solution of ethanol in water is 10% V by V. Okay, so I am telling that 10 liter or milliliter, so 10 milliliter of ethanol is present in 100 ml solution. You can say this, from this line you can say as this 10% is given in V by V, so what we can say that 10 milliliter, because volume is represented by milliliter or liter or centimeter cube, you can say. So I am taking it as milliliter. So 10 milliliter of ethanol, because ethanol is present in water, so ethanol is present in 100 ml solution, not water, that is the solution. So you can say that the formula for this is percentage by volume is equals to volume of solute divided by volume of solution into 100. So here the volume of solute is how much? 10. So 10 divided by the volume of solution is 100 into 100. So we can get it the formula as percentage by volume. Next number 3, it will be weight percentage by volume, which is the most important one out of this three. So from this I can say that number 3 is weight percentage by volume, or you can say W by V percentage. Okay. So for that, what we can say that, suppose I am taking an example. A sugar solution is 3% W by V. Okay. So that means what? From this line we can say that 3 gram of sugar is present in 3 gram of sugar is present in 100 ml solution. Yes or no? We can say it says because 3% weight by volume. That means what? 3 gram solute that is present in the 100 ml solution. So you can write it the formula as weight percentage by volume. You can write the formula as mass of solute divided by volume of solution into 100. So here the mass of solute is 3 gram, volume of solution is 100 ml, and if you multiply with 100 you get it the percentage as 3% only. So hope you all have understood. Next will be mole fraction. Okay. So mole fraction you all have got it previously also that what is a mole fraction. Suppose I am taking two components, two elements, you can say A and B. Okay. So number of moles for A is, suppose I am taking it is 1 and number of moles for B I am taking it as 3. So for mole fraction we are representing as zeta. So mole fraction for A it will be 1 by 4 and for B it will be 3 by 4. Okay. So how I am getting it as 3 by 4 and 1 by 4? Let us see that. Suppose I am taking, this is, so we are actually the formula for mole fraction is, you can say zeta is equals to, suppose I am finding out, suppose we are considering two elements A and B. So for zeta we are finding out the mole fraction for element A. So we have to write it as number of moles of A divided by total number of moles, that means the number of moles of A plus number of moles of B. Okay, for element A. And for element B, same, we have to find out the number of moles of B divided by number of moles of B plus number of moles of A. So you can say it as number of moles of B divided by number of moles of B plus number of moles of A. Okay. So how many components are present? You have to see that how many elements are present. If it is two elements, so you have to find out, you are considering finding out the mole fraction for element A. At that time you have to write the number of moles of A divided by total number of moles. That means how many elements are present. According to that you have to add the number of moles of that number of elements. So next, let us take an example. I am considering an example. Okay. So suppose 40 gram NaOH is present and 54 gram H2O is present in a solution. Find out the mole fraction for NaOH as well as for H2O. Okay, sodium hydroxide and water. So first what I will do, this is the given mass. So for NaOH and H2O, first I have to find out the number of moles. This is what? This 40 gram and 50 gram, 54 gram. These are the given mass in the question. So first I have to find out the number of moles. So number of moles of NaOH, we can write it as N suffix NaOH is equals to given mass, that is 40 gram divided by molecular mass. So molecular mass of sodium hydroxide is what? Sodium is 23 plus 16 plus for hydrogen it is 1. So it will be 40 divided by 40, it is equals to 1. So I have got the number of moles of sodium hydroxide as 1. Next I have to find out the number of moles of water. So that is N of H2O. So given mass is how much? 54 divided by the molecular mass of water. So the molecular mass of water, it will be 2 plus 2 into 1, that means 2 only, plus 16, that is equals to 54 divided by 18. So I think it will be going ahead as 3. So I have got the number of moles for sodium hydroxide also and water also. So for sodium hydroxide, the number of moles is how much? 1, and for water it is 3. So I have find out first the number of moles. Now I need to find out the mole fraction for both of them, which is required in our question. So I have got that N of NaOH, it is the number of moles, is equals to 1, and N of H2O is equals to 3. I have got it just now. Now we have to find out the mole fraction. So zeta of NaOH is equals to number of moles of NaOH, that is N of NaOH divided by total number of moles, that means water and sodium hydroxide, number of moles of that. That means what? N of NaOH plus N of H2O. So it will be how much? 1 divided by 1 plus 3 is equals to 1 by 4. So I have found out the mole fraction of NaOH. Next, we need to find out the mole fraction of H2O also. So zeta of H2O is equals to N of H2O, number of moles of water, divided by total number of moles, that means N of H2O plus N of NaOH. So it will be how much? 3 divided by 3 plus 1, that is 3 by 4. We have to remember one thing, that after adding the mole fraction, we have to get, suppose NaOH plus zeta of H2O, it should be always equal to 1. Otherwise my answer is wrong. Okay, so adding both the mole fraction, we have to get it as 1 only for 2 elements. So this is all about the mole fraction. I hope you have understood. Now the fifth one, that is the parts per million. That is the parts per million. So that means what? 10 to the power 6 time parts. Out of the 10 to the power 6 parts, we have to find out the concentration. So this concentration term is used for very small amount of quantity, small quantity. For a very small quantity, we have to find out. So first let me tell you parts per million. Suppose I am telling that example, I am taking an example. Sugar 2 ppm in solution. That means what? 2 gram sugar is present in 10 to the power 6 gram solution. Okay. Suppose this is the one which I am taking as an example. The amount of sugar present in solution is 2 ppm. That means what? 2 gram sugar will be present in 10 to the power 6 gram solution. So you can tell the formula as, suppose parts per million, formula for parts per million is equals to mass of the solute divided by mass of the solution. So in terms of 10 to the power 6, we are finding out that is million. So it will be 10 to the power 6. So this is the required formula for your parts per million. To find out the parts per million, we have to write it as mass of the solute, which is the sugar. So 2 divided by mass of the solution into 10 to the power 6. Next. So this is the one. Next I will tell you all molarity, which you have already got. So what is the molarity? That is number 6. Okay. So molarity means what? Okay. So molarity, we are representing it as capital M. You already tell that molarity, I will tell you it is definition as number of moles of solute that is present in 1 liter of a solution. Okay. So 1 liter solution er moddhe how much amount number of moles of solute will be there, that is known as what? Molarity. So I can tell it as number of moles of solute divided by, which is present in 1 liter of a solution. So volume of a solution in liter. Okay. Here we don't need to multiply 100 and all because we are not finding out the percentage. We are finding out the concentration of in terms of molarity. So number of moles of solute divided by volume of a solution in liter. So this is the formula for molarity. In molarity, what will happen? Suppose I am taking an example. Example is 2 m sugar is present in a solution. That means 2 molarity sugar is present in a solution. What does this mean? That means what? 2 moles of sugar is present in 1 liter solution. Okay. So 2 molar means what? Number of moles. We represent molarity as capital M. So 2 molar means what? 2 moles of solute. That is the number of moles of solute. Sugar is the solute here. So 2 moles of solute is present in a solution. So volume of the solution, that is 1 liter. Because here we will consider it as liter. Suppose I am taking an example. Let us do a sum here. Five gram NaOH is present in 450 ml solution. Find out the molarity of that. Find out the molarity. Find out the strength of that. So what we will do? First we have to find out. We know the molarity formula is equals to number of moles of solute. Yes or no? So number of moles of solute. Solute is here what? Sodium hydroxide. So for that the formula is number of moles of solute given mass by molar mass. So what is the given mass here in the question? It is 5 gram divided by molecular mass. So sodium hydroxide is having molecular mass 23 sodium plus 16 for oxygen plus 1 for hydrogen divided by the volume of the solution in liter. So it is given as 450 milliliter. We have to convert it into liter. So 450 into 10 to the power minus 3 liter. So we will get the answer here. 5 divided by 40 divided by 450 into 10 to the power minus 3. Something we will get it a value and the unit it will be as molar, or you can say some unit as moles per liter also. So the molarity, we find out the molarity like this only. The number of moles of solute divided by the volume of the solution in liter. Next. Next is what? Molality. So that is number 7, molality. Molality. You can say it is represented in small m. So what is that? Molality, it is defined as the number of moles of solute that will be present in 1 kg of a solvent. Okay. So for formula for molality is what? Number of moles of solute divided by mass of the solvent in kg. It should be always in kg. So suppose I am taking an example. Example as molality of KCl, so potassium chloride, is 3 small m. Okay, so this is an example. So what does this sentence mean? This sentence means that 3 moles of KCl is present in 1 kg of a solvent. Okay, so this sentence means what? 3 moles of soda, potassium chloride, is present in 1 kg of a solvent. That solvent is water only actually. So what does this 3m represent? Molarity is represented by small m. So this moles means what? The formula we can say the number of moles of solid. That means 3 moles of KCl, solute, that is KCl, is present in how much? Mass of the solvent. So 1 kg of the solvent in kg. That's why 1 kg. Okay. Suppose I am taking an example as I'm taking an example. Let's do an example. 20 gram sodium hydroxide is dissolved in 100-gram solution. Okay. So what we will do here? This is given. Find out the molality of the solution. Find out the molality. How will you find out the molality? So for molality formula is what? Number of moles of solute divided by mass of the solvent in kg. So molality will be how much? Given number of moles of solute, that is what? Given mass by molar mass. So given mass is how much? 20 divided by the molecular mass. So molecular mass of sodium hydroxide is how much? 23 plus 16 for oxygen plus 1 divided by mass of the solvent in kg. So 100 gram is given. Yes or no? So we know that 1000 gram is equals to 1 kilogram. Yes or no? So we have to convert this 1 gram. So 1 gram is equals to how much? 10 to the power minus 3 kilogram. So we have to convert this 100 gram solution. So 100 gram means what? 100 gram is equals to 100 into 10 to the power minus 3 kg. So we have to multiply it into 10 to the power minus 3. 100 into 10 to the power minus 3. Yes or no? So like this we are to find out some values we will find out which will be represented as m. Or you can say this small m represents moles because this is what? Number of moles of solute divided by the mass of the solvent in kg. So moles per kg also you can say. So unit for molality can be moles per kg also. Mole per kg also. So this is all about molality. Okay. Next, the last one which we will need to find out is that normality. Very important. We need to find out molality. Before knowing about normality, we have to know that what is normality. Okay, so normality is represented as small n. Before knowing the normality, we have to know that what is a gram equivalent mass. We have to know the gram equivalent weight. Okay. So let me write out the formula for that. So normality formula will be number of gram equivalent of solute divided by volume of the solution in liter. Okay. So this is the formula for normality, means number of gram equivalent of solute present in 1 liter of a solution. Before knowing that the formula and all, let me tell you what is the gram equivalent, how to find out the gram equivalent. So gram equivalent formula will be, for finding out the gram equivalent, we have to find out the equivalent mass. Okay. So equivalent mass is equals to molecular mass divided by X, which is known as valency factor. Okay. So equivalent mass has a formula which is known as molecular mass divided by the valency factor. So for that what will happen? Equivalent mass, there will be some rules for equivalent mass, for finding out the equivalent mass, because valency factor is there. So for acids, bases, there will be different equivalent mass. Suppose I am considering the equivalent mass for an acid. Okay. So for acid, suppose I am taking the acid as H2SO4. So for acid, the valency factor will depend on the basicity. That means what? Number of H plus ions. Yes or no? So for that what will happen? Suppose I am considering an example as H2SO4 sulfuric acid. So in sulfuric acid, when we will break it down, how many H plus ions will be there? It will be 2. So for that, what will happen? Equivalent mass for H2SO4, it will be what? Molecular mass by X. So for H2SO4, X will be equals to 2. So what will happen? Equivalent mass for H2SO4, this is an acid. Yes or no? So for equivalent mass is equals to molecular mass, what will be there in the equation? You know what is the molecular mass of H2SO4? The balancing factor will be 2 for acids. Okay. Now next, what we can say that base. For base, what will happen? For base, we have to know the acidity. That means what? Number of OH minus ions. Okay, so number of OH minus ions. Suppose I am taking an example as CaOH twice, calcium hydroxide. So calcium hydroxide, how many OH minus ions are there? For calcium hydroxide, how many OH minus ions? It will be 2 only, because twice of CaOH twice. For aluminum hydroxide, it will be thrice, because LOH thrice. So CaOH twice, that means what? Number of OH minus ions will be 2. So the balancing factor is 2. So the formula for equivalent mass for base, it will be the molecular weight, or you can say the molecular mass, divided by the valency factor for that base. So for the valency factor for that base will be 2. Yes or no? So we are having different rules. First for acid, the next one is for base. Yes or no? Next we can say that one more important one is there, that is known as salt. We need to find out the equivalent weight of any salt. So for salt, what will happen? For salt, how will you find out? Total number of charge present on cation. Positive charge present on cation. So positive charge present on cation. Total number of positive charge present on cation. So suppose I am taking an example as Na2CO3. Okay. In Na2CO3, total number of Na2 is how much? Twice of Na plus. Yes or no? So how many total charges for that? X will be how much? 2 only. Total number of positive charge cation. So twice of Na plus CO3 2 minus. So for that the balance factor is 2. For that the equivalent mass formula will be equivalent mass equals to molecular mass divided by the valency factor of that salt. So I am considering the salt as Na2CO3. For that the valency factor is how much? 2. Sometimes we are getting it as directly, but sometimes what will happen, if the salt is different, means the salt is different, we don't know how much the charge will be present on the cation. Suppose I am considering it as H3PO4 or H3PO3, or you can say that H3PO2. So for that all we have to know the structure, because without knowing the structure we don't know how much charge is present on the cation or the anion part. Okay. So for the normality I have told you about Na2CO3. There are some special cases also to consider the you can see the equivalent mass. Suppose I am considering it as H3PO4. These are the special cases. Okay. H3PO2, PO3, H3PO2. Okay, these are some of the salts which I am considering. So for this what will happen? H3PO4, for this we have to, you will tell that this will give 3H plus ions, this will also give 3H plus ions, this will also give 3H plus ions. But it's not like that. Okay, we have to consider the structure. So for H3PO4 we have to consider the structure. So I am considering the structure. Just look at it. What will happen? There are how many oxygens? 4 oxygen. So 1 is there, 2, 3. Phosphorus is having 5 valency. So 1, 2, 3. In the last one. How many hydrogen are there? 3. So here I will consider as hydrogen here, hydrogen here, hydrogen here. So what will happen here? Here 3 hydrogen are also present. Oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen. It is so electronegative that it can give H plus ions. So here 3 H plus ions will be there. So for this the valency factor will be 3. Okay. So here the equivalent mass will be how much? The given mass, molecular mass divided by the valency factor. So molecular mass you know, but the valency factor will be 3 for H3PO4. Now let us consider the structure for H3PO3. Okay. For H3PO3 what will happen? This is for H3PO4. For H3PO3, just look at the structure, very important. And for everything, for everyone, P double bond O. Here, how many phosphorus having 5 valency? So, 1, 2, 3. Remaining 1. So, you have to give your hydrogen here 1, here also 1, and here also 1. Here, as oxygen is so electronegative, so much electronegative than hydrogen, so it can give H plus ion from here, 1 H plus ion from here. Here, phosphorus is electronegative than hydrogen, but it is not that electronegative that it can break and give H plus ion, so we cannot consider this. Okay, so for this H3PO3, the valency factor is 2. Remember this. Now, let us tell about the last one, that is H3PO2. Okay, for H3PO2, let us see what happens. For H3PO2, similarly, we will draw the structure. So, how many oxygen? 2. The remaining 2. So, for that, hydrogen I will attach here. Hydrogen also here I will attach. And the third one I will attach here. Okay. So, similar, same case. Here we can break. This cannot break. Give this phosphorus cannot give H plus ions from this 2. So, we cannot consider this 2. Okay. We will consider only this H plus ion. So, for valency factor for H3PO2, X is equals to, valency factor is equals to 1. So, please remember this 2, these are these 3, H3PO4, H3PO3 and H3PO2. These are very important. Okay, now let's do a problem on this, on the normality question. We know that the normality formula is what? Number of gram equivalent of solute divided by the volume of the solution in liter. So, normality is having this formula. So, let us do an example. Like we are taking a question. So, if 0.98 gram of H2SO4 are present in 500 ml solution, find the normality. Yes or no? Okay, then in the question also, so how will you find out? We know the normality formula is how much? Number of gram equivalent of solute. That is, solute is what here? H2SO4. So it is an acid. It will give how many H plus ions? 2 H plus ions. So what will you do? First we need to find out the equivalent mass. So equivalent mass of H2SO4 is equals to molecular weight how much? Twice of hydrogen. So 2 plus for sulfur it is 32. For oxygen it will be 16. So 16 into 4, 64. Divided by the valency factor. What is the valency factor? It is an acid. So we will consider the basicity. That means H plus ions. How many H plus ions? 2 H plus ions. So 2. So from this we will get it as 49. Now, formula for normality is what? Number of gram equivalent. To find out the gram equivalent, what we need? We need the given mass. So given mass is how much? 0.98 gram. Equivalent mass we have to find out. Now next, what we will do? We have to find out the normality here. So volume is also given. So normality formula it will be how much? Normality is equals to number of gram equivalent of solute. So that means what? Given mass by equivalent mass. That means that is what? Gram equivalent of the solute divided by the volume of the solution in liter. So volume of the solution in a given mass is how much? 0.98 gram divided by the equivalent mass, that is 49, and Lastly, what will happen? Volume of the solution in liter. So the volume is how much? 500 ml. So we will convert it into liter. 500 into 10 to the power minus 3 liter. And here it will be gram. So gram equivalent, we have found out the unit for this. That the normality, the formula will be how much? It will be the number of gram equivalent of solute divided by the volume of the solution in liter. So this is the overall concentration terms. I hope you all have understood whatever I have taught you in your syllabus for today's video. If you have any doubt, please don't hesitate to ask any question. In my doubt clearing class, please clear all the questions you have in your mind. That's all for today. Thank you.